Would your crush ever ask you out on a date? That's the question for today's reading. I have 3 piles for all of you lovely people. On the first one, I believe the crystal that I have here is kyanite. And then the second one, I actually don't know. I actually got this in a little, oops. I didn't mean for that. I actually got this in a little cute geode thing, but I don't remember what it was called. It was like a little kid's toy. And then this third one, sorry. I made it go out of focus. The third one is malachite, and it's raw malachite. So remember, the question for today's reading is, would your crush ask you on a date? Sorry, I totally spaced out. And stop the video if you feel like you need more time. Otherwise, I'll skip to the timestamp in the description. No, not me, you. You can skip to the timestamp in the description or comment section. And remember, only take what resonates. You can pick more than one pile if you resonate with that. There could be a message there for you. So I will start with pile number 1. I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, now you can't even see them, but it's okay. There you go. So, pile 1. Would your crush ask you out on a date? Remember, this is if both of you, decide to put that energy forth. Everything is hypothetical until you actually, decide to talk to this person, or this person decides to talk to you. It's a 2-person thing. So remember, only take what resonates. This is a general reading. Any action from your part is your own responsibility. So, pile 1, would your crush ask you out on a date? This is a yes. You have the 6 of Wands upright. So sorry, I don't want to mess with the cards. I put the cards too close to the camera, so I feel like that was my mistake. That's why I might move a little bit too much. But yes, this person would ask you out. I think, I should have focused it. There you go. Yeah, I think it's gonna do that for most of this reading, I think. It's because I'm moving and shaking too much. But yes, this person would ask you out. Pile number 1. I believe they would ask you out, and maybe they would take you, I don't know if it's gonna be like in a festival kind of scenario this would happen, but I just feel that it's just like they want to show you off, or you want to show them off in a public setting. I feel that they want to fish for those compliments. I feel that they're looking forward to that, or if you're looking forward to that, because you want to be seen with this person, you find this person attractive, or vice versa, right? But it could be both, actually. Take what resonates for each pile. But it's likely that they want to kind of feel boastful about you. Want to parade, is it prance? Or parade? They want to parade you in public, I think it's parade. But yes, I think overall for this pile, you're going to feel very happy that your crush would ask you out. So I wanted to kind of give up. I know I usually do like a confirmation, but I wanted to do 2 confirmations. Oops, sorry. 2 confirmations. I have these 2 cards for you, pile 1. Justice and Strength reverse. Okay. Yay, it didn't actually get out of focus. So something I find interesting is that you could be probably a very shy person, likely. Or this person can also be shy. It's just a very introverted energy here. Someone who wants to be vulnerable but fair, but also they're taking their time, I guess, to, like in this scenario, it would take not too much time to approach you and, do this, but they really want to weigh out other options, I feel. They want to be fair. They don't want to just come up and be, inappropriate. Or they just don't want to make you feel, not out of your element, but someone that's too brash. They want to really just make you comfortable enough to be around them. They don't want to push you away. But again, this is someone, for some reason, either you're a very good looking person or they're a very good looking person as well. It's just a lot of beautiful energy, like elegant. There's just some elegance and radiance in here. It's just soft and ethereal, likely, but it's just something about you both as individuals that are very distinguishable. I don't even know if that's a word. You can be very distinguished. There's just something about, I think both of you might likely feel very proud to be next to each other. That's what I'm trying to think of, like the best way to describe this energy is, I think you guys would be prideful, and not in an arrogant way, but so like, look, I bagged this, like, wow, take a good look, that kind of scenario. And it's not in a super like cocky way, but definitely very boastful, I feel. So both of you would feel kind of boastful about going out on a date with being seen with each other, I think, overall for this pile. So yes, this is a great energy to start a first date. You know, I'm not thinking any further than that, but I definitely think it's a great, vibrant, positive, and it's just, I just keep thinking of beauty for this pile. Maybe they want to take you out in the park, or just be outside, or go to a movie, but they want to be seen with you, or go to the mall, like somewhere where many people can, like, not necessarily interact with both of you, but like more so that they can be seen visually for others to see. So I hope that makes sense for you. Only take what resonates, pile 1. But yes, I do think you're gonna feel like, I think you and this person will feel like a king and queen. I know there's not a whole lot of king and queen energy here, but the 3 cards that are here show a crown of some sort. There's a floral crown, there's like a leaf crown, and then there's an actual crown. So I just feel that you're gonna feel very royal and fancy, schmancy. I think you would feel like a king and queen, or they would treat you like so. In the first date, they would be very distinguished and gentlemanly, or very distinguished and ladylike to your liking. They're not very out of character, you know. You see that coming, but they seem like a great person to date. But yes, your crush would likely, of course, ask you out, likely. But of course, you know, the energies have to be right. Not just one person, but the situation, the environment, your circumstances, right? And both people. So I hope that helped pile 1. I will start with pile number 2. So pile number 2. Would your crush ask you out on a date? So pile number 2, for you, your card, I have a close-up, is the Magician reversed. So this is a no. This crush of yours would not, sorry, I wanted to, oh my god, cough and sneeze. And I just like, yeah, it was contradicting. So I kind of stopped. The Magician reversed is a no for you, pile number 2. I feel for you, the reason why they would not likely ask you out is because I just feel that maybe you're not necessarily their type, in the sense where they're not trying to manifest you necessarily. Like, you're not their, not saying that you're not their ideal person, but maybe you have differences in preferences, not just that, like, it could be values, it could be emotions, just maybe miscommunication, but in the sense where, because you're not communicating the way you thought you'd like to, it's just kind of like going opposite ways, right? And not necessarily that you have to be upset with each other, but more so I just think that you wouldn't see eye to eye with each other, and I just don't think it would work that well, if that makes sense. Sorry, I had to. I wanted to get the image closer. But yeah, for you, pile number 1, no, 2, so sorry. I do think that, I just don't think they have their cup to offer. Just keep focusing on 2 aspects in here. 3, actually. I know there's a little crown here, but it just gives me cycles. Are you like not you necessarily, but do you have repetitive cycles with this person? Are you in a loop of like yes, no, hot, cold, yes, no, hot, and cold? Or it's a cycle where you want to end something when they want to start something, or you want to start something and want to end it, but it's like at odds. There you go. Being at odds with each other. And then having that cup on the table is like, this is what I bring to the table. This is my cup. This is my emotions. This is what I have, my feelings, my heart, my mind, my soul. But for some reason, I don't feel this person wants to get it. This person would rather get, I think it's a candle. I think it's meant to be possibly, I think it's a wand. Sometimes it's hard to see because they're so tiny. I do think it's a candle. But I just think, even though you're offering possibly, or in this scenario I feel like it's you're offering your cup to this person, I feel this person would rather go for the fire, like the candle, something else to really focus on. So their focus isn't necessarily you. They're not trying to manifest to you. Again, you also, oh my god, I just noticed, I finally saw it. So you have all these elements on the table, but the one for me right now, my primary focus for you, pile number 2, is a cup card. And I think that the cup on the table, and I think that the person would just not rather focus on that. They're trying to possibly break cycles and just focus on different things. If that makes sense, pile number 2. So for you, pile number 2, I decided to also do 2 cards instead of one of my usual, for confirmation cards. So for you, pile 2, the first card, so I don't want to make the mistake of making the camera go off focus so much as the first pile. You have King of Swords reversed. And I will put that here. Let me just, I'm going to move this up there. And then your next card is the 3 of Wands. No, 2 of Wands, sorry. 2 of Wands. Upright. So, for you, pile number 2. Ouch. There you go. For you, pile 2, your confirmation cards of this situation should that, aside from the reason they would likely not want you to manifest, like not to manifest you, or you manifest them, right? But it's likely if you're asking about a crush, you don't want to manifest them. No, sorry, they don't want to manifest you necessarily. Not because they might not find you as attractive or anything, but there's differences, right? There's differences of focus, and they're trying to manifest other things, not necessarily you. They want to really kind of focus on themselves and that inner fire. And I think the King. I am getting sorry. King of Swords reversed and 2 of Wands. I think this person is kind of okay. So with the King of Swords, this person is trying to really not reevaluate, but they're trying to kind of not separate. How can I say this? They're trying to not they're trying not to cut deep with their words, and they're trying to be careful. If you were to ask them oh my god. I feel this pile just makes me have my tongue tied. It's like, that's all I'm literally doing. And I know the message I'm trying to say, but for some reason I just keep going. So I do think there's some tongue tied here situations, but I do definitely think that they're trying to maybe like not hurt your feelings and cut you deep with their words, because they can be. So they're going within, reserving that energy, and like really thinking about how to be careful with their words so they don't hurt your feelings as they like put you down, like, no, I'm sorry, thank you, but I'm not interested, kind of thing. I also think this person's looking elsewhere for different horizons. I think with the 2 of Wands, there's some, I'm sorry, I keep moving, I'm so jittery. I think it's because I had a little bit of coffee, and I haven't had that in months. I actually don't take it, so I feel very like twitchy, and I don't really like the feeling of that. But I've been smelling coffee like lately that I just want to have a little bit, like a little tiny cup. So I apologize if I move too much. Like, I know I can feel it, like, too jittery. But yes, I do think that this person likely wants to be careful with their words. They do think you're a nice, lovely person, but it's just not in them to want to be with you, right? They just don't want to entertain that idea to ask you out on a date, you know. You're just not their type, plain and simple. So I do think they would kind of be wise with their words, and they would try to be considerate, and they would try to be kind. It might not be easily in their nature to be kind, but I guess because you approach them in a different manner than they thought you would, they might consider that idea to be nicer to you, right, as a person. But I definitely do not think this person is interested. Sorry, pile 2. I have to put it out plain and simple. So again, this is just the energy. Maybe you can think of another person and you can, pick that pile from a different pile, the same pile. But again, this person in this scenario, in this moment, is not interested in you, or it's not interested to further down entertain that idea of going out with you on a date. So I hope that helped, pile 2. Select a different pile if you want to. There could be a message there for you. Remember, this is a general reading. And then I will start with pile number 3. So pile number 3, would your crush ask you out on a date? For you, I have the Knight of Swords upright. So yes, this person you're thinking about, your crush, would likely, in this scenario, if all situations are ideal, they would ask you out on a date. I'm going to put it down because I think I'm shaking too much. Sorry. So sorry. But yes, I do think that this person would likely ask you out on a date. Pile number 3. They might be a little brash. I think I said that for a different pile. I believe it could have been pile 1. If I'm not mistaken, you could have been attracted to that pile, but I think I said something around those lines. But it could be the opposite meaning. I remember using that word. But I definitely think for this pile number 3, your crush would ask you on a date. They would be very bold, very brash, very cardinal energy, very direct. So they would tell you, maybe not. I feel like for some reason, these scenarios that I'm thinking about is if this person was, like, let's say in a classroom setting, and you sat maybe close to them but not quite close, they would probably blurt it out, like, hey, so-and-so, Jane Doe or John Doe, let's hang out this weekend, or let's go see a movie, or something like that. And I think people could hear, like, there's like some possibilities that could happen, and you're just, like, put on the spotlight for some reason. That's what I keep thinking of this one. And you're just like, like, you do want that. You just want it maybe in different circumstances, because again, this is the Knight of Swords. So Knight of Swords is someone that wants to send a message of, I want to be direct. I want to be concise, to the point, not waste my time. But I might not always be delicate with my words. It might not always be the ideal situation where they ask you out. Maybe you're busy. Maybe you're working. Maybe you're in a public space and they ask you out, or they do something that's very, not radical, but to the point that you're just like, I thought it would have more dedication or more feelings. And it was just very, maybe it was through a text message, right? And the text message was like, hey, let's go out. And it wasn't so much like, hey, I like you, let's go out. What do you think about this and this? Or let's go here. What do you feel like? How are you feeling? Like, they weren't really, not necessarily considerate, but more so, they might have been a little too direct and maybe arrogant or selfish, but you still like them. It's not necessarily that, too extreme, but you're like, you could have been a little more tactful with your words, and that would have made me go a little bit, like, more excited maybe. But you are excited, of course, because this is your crush, right? Your crush is someone that you have a crush on for a reason, so you probably likely think this person's cute, but the way it came across was not always the ideal situation, but that message was sent across and it was meant. So there's that. So some confirmation cards for you, pile number 3. Yes, 3. I have to constantly look like 1, 2, 3. I actually focus on the crystals this time. So I don't think I mentioned this for the other piles, but for this pile with malachite, I feel that maybe you would have liked to have some nurturing words, some softer words. Malachite is protective, but I always correlate malachite with the relationship with women and how you'd like to be nurtured and treated, protected, understood. And maybe that's what you make this person feel. Maybe that's why you're kind of like complimentary with this person in that sense, because your attitude is much more, not softer, but understanding. And you have the tact with words when this person's kind of just brash. But, you know, they're still sweet. That doesn't mean, it's just a little rough on the edges, I feel. And that's why there could be a possibility for you, pile number 3, that you compliment this person. So with you, I have the World reversed as a confirmation card. And then I also have the Page of Pentacles upright. There you go. And focus. So with these cards for your confirmations, I definitely feel that you might take your time to consider this, right? Because you're like, oh, I imagined it to be this way, but it didn't come out that way. So you're like, oh, is this really the person that I want to go out with and give a chance? But you make up your mind and you're like, okay, let's go for it. Because I feel like you received the message, you pondered about that, you considered all outcomes and possibilities with the World card, and then the Page of Pentacles is someone that is receiving and ready to give out their pentacle. Is not always like I don't necessarily feel it's like monetary all the time, but in this situation it would be, I'll put in my effort into going out and having a good time with you. This is something that I value. I value my time, my freedom, and my attention. So I feel that I'm ready to give this an offer to you as long as you entertain me with a lovely date. And I think that this person, they'll do their best, and they might likely for some reason I think of like Lady and the Tramp for some reason with this pile. But yes, I do think they would entertain you. They would make you feel great. Like they're just rough around the edges, this pile is very youthful, just in the sense where I feel like when I say youthful in this pile, it's a youthful temper. I'm thinking about the ways you guys bicker. It's just, there's likely bickering here, but it's a taunting bicker where you're attracted to this person, and it's just, I guess, in the way of a way of how you guys flirt. It's just the way you speak to each other. But yes, I do think this person would entertain you with a date. This person would ask you out, pile number 3, and I think that you might consider this at first and kind of think about it and just take your time. But I do think in the end you would likely say yes, and I do think that you would reciprocate those feelings as well. So I do think it would have a great day. In this scenario, you would have a great day with this person. Date. Damn saying date. But yes, I hope you enjoyed that pile number 3. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share if you guys stayed all the way to the end. It helps me out with my channel and my growth of it. Have a great day because you made it a great day, and not because I told you to. Remember, this is a scenario where if the circumstances were right and both people were consenting and wanting this, each pile would more or less receive this message. If this was a scenario where you guys would ask each other, not you, but maybe this person asked you out, and how you guys would consider it. So I hope you guys have a lovely time, great day. Bye bye everybody.